Hi, good morning everyone. Happy Monday. My name is Christine Altos and today is Monday, so that means it's Mom Talk. I'm so excited about today's Mom Talk because I get to interview an incredible mom. Her name's Kelsey Britton. So before we get started, I just wanted to ask how your weather is where you are, because where I am, the weather is crappy. Like, isn't it supposed to be spring right now? My poor husband and son were up at 2 o'clock this morning to put the sander back in the truck, put the plow on the front, and go out and try and do something with that mess. But so do me a favor. In the comments, tell me where you're watching from. And then also tell me what the weather's like where you are. Because if you're somewhere sunny, I would love to hear that. Because it's just really crappy where we are right now. We've had freezing rain, we've had snow, we've had a little bit of everything. So we need some cheering up for us here in Ontario, Canada. So share some really nice weather in the comments and where you're from. So let's not waste any more time. Let's bring on our guest of honor today. I'm going to get to interview Kelsey Britton, and her story is going to rock your world because in 1 year she was able to leave her full-time job to do her business full-time. And I want to hear more, don't you? Because I think that's an incredible story. So I have some great questions to ask her, and she's going to share some really fun stuff with us today. So I see that she's already on here, so let's get her added. And welcome everybody as you're coming on. So as you're coming on, please do me a favor and put where you are. Good morning, Tara. Hi, good morning.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. I have to fix my volume. Okay.
What is the weather like where you are?
It's supposed to warm up, but it's kind of cold. But it's not windy, which is a blessing because we've had severe wind for weeks. I don't even remember a day it wasn't windy, so.
Yeah, we've had that too, but we've had incredible rain, ice, snow, like, oh, it's just crazy. It's not spring here right now.
It's not spring.
Oh, it's crazy. So, well, thank you so much for joining me today here on Mom Talk. I was super excited that you said, sure, I'd be a guest. So that's so exciting for me.
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're absolutely welcome. So what I would love to do is just ask you a few questions and basically share your story with other moms that might be, wanting to pursue a career in networking. So first off, Kelsey, what is your story? What could you share with us right now about what your story is?
Okay, so I'm a mom, obviously, with Mom Talk. I have 3 little girls. One's 7, one is 4, and one is 3. So we're very busy. I have a sweet husband, of course. We live in Oklahoma, and, we started in network marketing 3 years ago because we were at that point in our lives where we both had great jobs, but the money wasn't coming in like we needed it to. We had great jobs, but we were still living paycheck to paycheck. We were budgeting like crazy, and then our oldest decided she wanted to do gymnastics, and that was not in our budget because gymnastics is a little expensive. And not only that, but the outfits that they have to wear are also kind of pricey. So we were like, man, we have to do something. Neither one of us wanted to get more jobs and be away from our kids. So we turned to network marketing.
I can actually agree with that. Like, our kids just started with baseball because prior to that, just working all the time and having that extra money to be able to put into that, like, you feel kind of bad, but you're also like, well, I can only do so much, right? You don't want to go into too much debt for that. So, and our kids were always very understanding. So that's awesome. So what would you say, what kind of experience would you say from a working, accomplishments that you may have achieved in the workforce? What would you say you were able to bring into the networking that has made you successful so far? Did I say that okay?
Yeah. Okay, so my job that I had, that I've retired from, or retired, I feel weird saying that at 26, but
Yeah.
I was a graphic designer and I worked for newspapers. And so I was able to, number one, work with, the marketing team and, target ads to different products, different businesses. But I was also able to work with the business owners personally, hear their needs and their wants. Same with people who are reading the newspapers. I was just really a people person, as the ads and the marketing manager at the paper that I worked for. So I feel like that has given me a strength. I really understand marketing, especially whenever it comes to social media. And I also understand people and, those relationships and filling needs. And that's what we do in network marketing.
Hi, Laura. I see your mom's on here.
Hi, Mom.
That's awesome. So would you say that you have, well, what would you say is your personal superpower? Like, what do you bring to your team that would make you stand out from the crowd?
Okay, so my team, they might agree, they might not. I know a lot of them are watching right now, so they can put in the comments. But I feel like my superpower is time management and teaching people how to use their nook and cranny time for their business. So, like I said, with the 3 kids, and we have all these activities going on, and we're still trying to, build this business. You have to be great at time management. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect. Sometimes our life looks like a hot mess, and we've just decided to embrace that. But for the most part, we get stuff done. We get kids to where they need to be on time. We kind of keep it together without letting it all fall apart. So I feel like that's my superpower.
Well, Rhonda says here that Kelsey's superpower is an encourager.
Aww.
So I think you probably have multi-powers.
Well, I do love encouraging, and I love happy mail. Like, I love sending stuff out and recognize. That's one of the, I don't think that's a superpower for me, but it's really one of the perks of the business is just getting to pick things out for your team and your sisters and your tribe, and being able to mail it out, based on their preferences and what they like.
Awesome. I totally agree. Those are great superpowers to have, because a team certainly needs that from a leader. So where would you say that you mostly build your business? Do you do a lot of social media, or do you do traditional as well?
I do both. I really like social media, obviously, because I'm on it all the time. And my mindset with that is, if I'm going to be on it, it might as well be affecting my bank account in a good way.
Yeah.
But I also love coffee and, meeting friends for coffee. I love play dates, mainly because, we can go to Chick-fil-A. If anyone loves Chick-fil-A, put some emojis in the comments or something, because like, I love it because the kids can go into the play area and the adults can talk, and like, we're not having to, be stretched every different direction. And
Yeah.
so anyway, I like doing both. I like social media. Facebook is my jam. But I also like meeting for coffee and Chick-fil-A.
Pardon my dogs. They bark at everything.
Oh, you're fine. My dog, I was like, man, he is going to be in here. He's going to be making a racket. I get it.
Well, that's the great thing about working from home, is like, life happens, right? And it's not meant to be perfect. It's not meant to, those things are going to happen, and you can't control it. So, so what would you say is a habit that you have been able to use and be successful with? What is the number one habit that's contributed to your success?
Okay, so the number one habit, I would say, and it's really not complicated. It's not something super scientific, and a lot of people probably already do it, but it is the to-do list and being consistent. And so every night before I go to bed, I make a to-do list of the stuff I have to do the next day. So whenever I wake up, I'm focused and I know what I have to get done, and I'm not scatterbrained. And I put everything on the list because I also like to see where I can cross it out, and like it makes me feel better about myself, even if it's something simple like, you know, changing the laundry over. Like it doesn't have to be this big accomplishment. It's just, you know, the more lines I can put up through my to-do list, the better. And I think that has really helped me, because that goes into the time management part too. You know, I don't overwhelm myself on my to-do list. I know what I have to get done. And so yeah, the to-do list and putting everything on it, even taking the kids to school, because sometimes that is a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, getting everybody together and, you know, both shoes on and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say has been your biggest aha moment in your business? I know you're 3 years in, so within those 3 years, have you had like a moment where you're just like, now I get it kind of idea?
Yeah, I would say my aha moment was when we stopped focusing on what we wanted and we started focusing on helping our team get what they wanted. When we started out, you know, we were really skeptical. We really didn't think it was going to work. And, you know, we were just looking for the $200 for gymnastics and the outfit, you know. We were like, oh, we'll see if that happens kind of thing. You know, we had no idea that a year later I'd be able to stay at home with our kids. But in that season, we were working for what we needed. And everyone goes through that. And I'm not saying that's wrong. But the really big shift in our business was when we started focusing on what everyone else needed. You know, people on our team, some people had, you know, big goals, and we were able to help them accomplish that. And that happened whenever the shift happened in our focus.
Yeah, and that's huge. That's a huge step when you realize that it's not about ourselves, it's about our team, it's about what you could do for them, what are their goals, because ideally that's what you're doing it for, is to not just achieve your own goals, but take a team with you and lift them up and give them, you know, encouragement and achieve their goals, because it's always so much more rewarding when you see them achieving their goals as opposed to you achieving your goals.
Right.
It just lifts you up. You just feel like, I want to do that again. It's kind of like a, you know, a little high that you get. Like, I want to do that again. I want to see that again. That was awesome.
Absolutely. No, in one experience in particular, I had a mom on my team send me a text, and this one day, her commission was huge, and she said, I made more today than I would have made working away from my kids the whole month. And like sending me that, I was just like, yes, this is why we do this. This is why network marketing is so awesome. Because, you know, she didn't have to be away from her kids that month. And it just feels good. That's why I love network marketing, because, you know, it's not like corporate America. Everyone's helping everyone. And you have the best of the best training us too. So.
Yeah, absolutely. We certainly do.
Yeah.
It's like a personal development business with a comp plan attached to it.
Right.
I just love that. Yeah. So what would you say you're most excited about in the networking industry? Like, what is it about it that, I know you just mentioned some really great things about network marketing. Is there anything else that gets you really excited about the industry?
I'm excited because I feel like in the last, you know, 5-10 years, network marketing is more normal. People are starting to get it. It's not something, you know, that's out of left field. You know, more and more moms and teachers and, you know, lawyers and doctors, I mean, everyone is getting it. They're seeing that, you know, the 40-hour a week for, you know, 40 years, it's not really working out, and they need something else or something to, you know, supplement that. And so I'm really excited because I feel like it's just going to keep growing. I don't feel like it's, you know, going anywhere. And then the other point is it is limitless. Like, just because I, you know, I was a single mom before, I don't have a college education, and, you know, look where I'm at now. Like, it was an equal playing field from the beginning, and it's an equal playing field at the end. As long as I put in the work and, you know, I keep up the hustle and I keep helping more people, there's no limit on my income. And just a shout out for women, there's no limit just
Yeah.
because you're a woman, right? It's equal
Absolutely.
all around. So that gets me really excited about the industry.
Well, it's pretty exciting because it's women that dominate the networking industry, actually. If people really looked into it, I know, right? We dominate it. So it's because we love to share what we love, right? And we want to always, share with our girlfriends, our sisters, or everybody things that we love to use. And why not do that in a platform that rewards everybody, right?
Right.
Gail says that it's not called a pyramid anymore. No, when people truly understand what a pyramid is, network marketing is definitely not a pyramid. Definitely not. So, in your personal growth, do you have a book or are you listening to something right now that is that you'd like to maybe recommend someone else in looking for something for personal growth?
Yes. Okay. So the first book I would suggest is Go Pro by Eric Worre. That's what we read in the beginning. And in the beginning, we were like, give us the steps. Like, we need, you do this first, then you do this second, then you do this third. And I feel like that book does that. Now, I'm listening to an audiobook right now, which I feel like is more of the women's perspective of GoPro. And pardon my language, but it's called Get Over Your Damn Self. And it is so good, like so good. Now there is some language, but it is just like GoPro. As far as step by step, this is what you need to learn, this is what you need to do. But it's from a girl's perspective, which is helpful. So those are the two.
Now, is that a podcast?
It is a book, and then I have the audiobook. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe after you could maybe in the comments write that title down for anybody that might want to look it up. That'd be great. And the author. Awesome. Yes. I definitely would like to look that up myself. So, well, this has been really good. I've met you a few times. And I see you all the time on social media, and I'm learning from you as well. So I thought you would be a perfect person to come on here and share your story with. Before I ask you the last question, can you maybe tell everybody a little bit more about whether, like, I heard you say something about networking really wasn't something that you were thinking would be your avenue, but what really got you intrigued in the networking? Like, did you ever think you'd be a part of a networking company?
No, I did not. And what's unique about my story is I actually grew up in network marketing. So my mom is watching right now because she's awesome. And so they had their own network marketing company. And so from when I was little to, when they joined the company that we're in now, we wanted nothing to do with it. It was actually my husband's idea, Dustin, that we, take the plunge. And I was reluctant. I was like, no, Mom and Dad, we need to have regular jobs because that's what real people do. I'm going to miss the stuff at the school. I'm going to miss the, programs and all that stuff because that's just normal life. So, and then, the push came to shove whenever our kids were old enough to do activities and we didn't have the money. I didn't know that stuff cost money growing up. So that's what really made us jump. And Dustin likes to take credit for the idea.
So what was it about growing up with your parents being in networking that made you decide that it wasn't something that you were interested? Was there something about it? Was it about their lifestyle maybe you didn't quite understand? Or what do you think? Was there anything that triggered that?
I don't know. I mean, looking back, I'm like, what was I thinking? But I think I was just so accustomed to the lifestyle. Like, I don't know, because my parents never missed anything for me. And, I was a dancer. I did it competitively, like, all over the country. And I never asked, like, how are we paying for this? Like, I just was like, it's normal for your parents to fly you to New York City. Like, hello. And then I'm a parent, and I'm like, no, that is not normal at all. And so anyway, I think I was just the rebellious kid, like not wanting to do the family business. want to go try my own way and fail and then come crawling back. That's my story.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but it's good now.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if you had one piece of advice to give someone just starting out, a mom, or a stay-at-home mom, one piece of advice that would help them make the decision to really dive in and get started, what would that advice be?
Okay, so speaking to moms directly, I would say don't use your children as an excuse. Use them for as your reason, because that was me in the beginning. We said we wanted this business, we said we wanted the income, but I was just making excuses like, oh, well, we're gonna watch a movie, or we're gonna I wasn't doing the business activities, but I wanted the outcome. And I think a lot of us moms in the beginning, we do that. And I'm gonna give you one more tip, moms. Set some goals with your business, with your kids. So, because sometimes, you're doing a video like this and, you have kids wanting your attention. Like what we did is we set some goals. Like when we hit this rank in the company, then, we'll take this trip. Or, when we get this type of award, we'll go out and eat ice cream, like little things, because they want to be invested in it too. So that's my 2 tips for moms is your children are your reason, not your excuse. And set some goals as a family so they're dedicated and they're vested in what you're doing too.
Those are some really great tips, because I know I'm guilty of that too, of, not spending the time with them saying, yeah, this is the lifestyle I was looking for, but not putting the time in to be able to do that more in depth without being going to bed going, okay, what do I got to do tomorrow to make up for not doing anything today? Type idea.
Yeah.
So that's great. Those are really good tips, because this really is an industry that, it's not easy. Like it is, it's work. We have to, like you said, we have to prioritize our time. We have to schedule in some time for doing things like this. Before I came on live, I had to remind my family, because everybody's home today because of the weather. I had to remind them, I'm going to be going live at 11, so please don't be watching YouTube and all this other stuff, because, I don't want you to slow down the internet kind of idea. So, yeah, it's just, those are great tips.
Well, that's a tip right there. Pep talk your children before you do stuff.
Yeah. Well, we do, and we actually love bringing our kids to convention and those kind of trainings. They're not really interested in, like yourself when you were a kid. They're not really interested in what we do, but every time they come to convention, I buy them tickets to come to the trainings. They always learn something. So they might not be learning right now to build a business, but they're learning some life skills and some personal development. And little, things are being planted, some seeds are being planted within them, because, they absolutely love using all the products. They like, everything that we do. They just don't see it for themselves right now. So it's pretty interesting to see what the future holds for them. So, yeah, when we involve our kids into what we're doing, you just never know what it's going to do for them in their future as well. So, and when they see you doing certain things, then they see that you're setting a good example.
Yes, absolutely. And I will add, I'll give my parents some credit since I was the rebellious child. My brother and I grew up in the industry, but we knew we could be anything that we wanted. Like, we never had a doubt, I was going to dance on Broadway, and there was never a doubt in my mind that I couldn't do it. And, my brother wanted to play football, and, we wanted to change the world. Like, that was instilled in us. And I really think that came from the industry. So that's an added bonus, for raising up your in network marketing.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. That's important, because a lot of the times we are suppressed about what we can do for ourselves. And right now I'm reading a book called Wishes Fulfilled, and with Dr. Wayne Dyer, and he really talks about this stuff and the power of believing in yourself and what you can do. So Yeah, that's awesome. So, well, I won't keep you much longer. Thank you so much for joining me here on Mom Talk and answering all my lovely questions.
Well, thank you
I
so
hope,
much for having me. It's been so much fun.
oh, you're welcome. Yeah. And if anybody wants to learn more about what Kelsey and I are up to, then just message us and we'd be more than happy to share what it is that we're doing from home. But Kelsey, congratulations on all your success thus far and helping so many other women lift up themselves as well. So thank you so much. And I absolutely love your parents. They are an incredible role model. I love following them too and hearing from them. So yeah.
Well,
So
thank
have
you.
a great Monday. And did you have something? You were going to
Nope,
say
nope,
something? I
nope.
didn't want
You're
to
good.
cut
You're good.
Alrighty, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna upload this onto YouTube in a few little minutes, and we can share it anywhere you like afterwards. So thanks again for being my guest, and rock the rest of your week.
You too. Bye.
Bye.